Okay, hope everybody can hear me. Today I'm just going to be installing a grade on this module here. So transitioning from one to the other, I've already cut my strip of wood. So I'm just getting my transition block installed right now, and then I can trim this back and install my road bed. So I'm just going to drive some screws up in here. That was probably loud. Okay, so that's secure. I'm just going to mark my spacing here. I want to trim it just slightly back from what the actual module join would be, just so when it butts together there's a little bit of play there. Floor is not always exactly level. Hey, good afternoon. Yes, still working on modules. That's kind of my thing. Lots of modules to make, so eventually I'll get to the point where I can run some trains and do fun stuff like that. But it's all a journey to get to that point. But I got a deadline now for Midland Train Show. Is at the end of May, so kind of got to make sure everything's ready to go. And there we go. I am not doing too bad, actually. Got quite a bit done this morning. This was a full module, so I ended up taking all the scenery off the back. Used to have a little road and everything here, but like I said, I got to move everything forward about 4 inches. I cut my slot for the backdrop already, which will end up in here. Got my staging all painted. There's a little ledge on the back so nothing gets bumped and falls off. So it's a productive morning. So now if I can get this done, that'll be excellent. I've already cut some blocks. Do I run any specific railroad on my layout? No, not really. I just run what I think is cool. I have a little bit of everything. If I go to buy something, it's usually Canadian, like Canadian locomotives, but I'm not, if I think it's cool, I'll run it. Where's the train show at the end of May? Asking from Snowy Bracebridge. It is in Midland, May 30th weekend, I believe it is. So last weekend in May. It's a good show. Lost to see. Yeah, worth the drive. We've been, I think we've been there 4 years now. 4 years exhibiting. So, and then I think the weekend after is, oh, I'm gonna totally get it wrong. So I'm not even gonna bother saying it. But I think the weekend after is, anyway, Arn Priory, I believe. I'd have to look. Don't quote me on that, please. Yeah, a lot of the snow melted last week or so, but now we're back in the freezing temps, so everything's all icy. I know I live in Northern Ontario, but I am done with the snow. That's for sure. So I don't like the edge on this. This is the old backdrop off of these modules, so rather than waste them, I'm trying to reuse them in a different form. So I just cut this one down to 3-inch strip, and I'm just going to square this one off. Yeah, snow's not done. Where can I cut this here? Sorry, I just ran out of space on camera to cut this, but okay, that's better. Winter storm in Michigan. So I'm going to try and get the same distance here. We're looking at about 6 3/4. So I'll do the same thing down here. 6 3/4 ish. Somewhere like that. Okay. Hans, looking forward to meeting you. Yeah, I just did I think that was the time lapse one. Um, from setting up, but definitely come say hi. So in that video, I think it was myself and two other guys. They both they both are come down and usually operate. My one buddy Chris over at Central Northeastern Railway. You can check out his channel. I could probably post the link, but they both came and helped me that day and get everything set up, and that's you. But usually it's just myself and my buddy Chris. So that's kind of why we try and make everything as easy as possible for us to work on. Yeah, I'm not really a club. There is a club in North Bay. I'm just too busy with doing the stuff on my own layout and just not enough time to do all the stuff I want to do. So we kind of do our own thing. When I had the home layout set up, we would do operating sessions, usually about, I don't know, between 4 and 6 people out here and just running trains. We got JMRI and yeah, it was make a whole day out of it. It was a good time. So that's kind of where I want to get back to. I know everybody's been asking me when I'm going to have the next operating session, but probably won't be for a little bit. But we'll definitely be at shows. Half a foot of snow to a little over a foot. Ooh, no thanks. I had a little bit of one side was higher than the other, but I could probably shim that up a wee bit, or I'll just sand it. It's not too bad. I think I can make that work. This is old plywood, so it's not always perfect. So line up there. So then I made all these little blocks from 1 3/4 all the way down. All the way down to 1/4. You can sort of see that. So now I can try to figure out where the center of this is going to be. And I also want to check my previous grade just to see where I started in about I'm gonna go 3 1/4. Let me switch cameras here. That I got 2 cameras today. I already forget the measurement that I just took. Three and a quarter. Okay. So measure in 3 1/4. So that's going to be where the end of my grade will be cut off here. You can see that. And then I'll have my Kato joiners on the end of this. So 3 1/4. Kind of cutting into my old scenery here. I'm just going to cut that. I wanted to save as much of the old scenery as I possibly could, but sometimes I got to take it out. Okay. Making this more difficult than I need it to be. There. Lots of room for activities. Put that all in the cow pasture for now. I'll vacuum that up later. Okay. Now I can, whoop, Now I can put that back in. That wire's super annoying, eh? Okay. This height difference is kind of bugging me, but that's okay. I'll work with that. So I'm going to put a screw in that end. Hey, Canadian Locomotive Logistics. I am not too bad. How about yourself? Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to find roughly the center here now. So I'm going to start between. The cameras are in a kind of weird spot here. Let's see. See what that looks like. Yeah, kind of. So I'm going to find about halfway here. From zero, and I'm only going up about like 2 inches. And that just clears the top of my intermodal containers by about 1/8 of an inch. So That's about all I need. Oh, there's a pencil there. So we're looking at so 31 1/4 is about halfway. So about right there. And then let's divide that. I'm just going to try to put my risers somewhat equally spaced as close as I can get it, and then I'll use a string line from one end to the other just to see, make sure it doesn't sag anywhere or if there's a high spot. So about there. What did I do? There. Yeah. Okay. So that's my 1 1/4, mention half in, 1 1/4. 1 inch is my halfway point. And 3/4 over here. 1/2 inch. And my 1/4. So just gonna sort of wedge these in there and see where I'm at. Get my string line out. Okay. I'm just reading Canadian Locomotive Logistics comment on how to run trains remotely. I've seen you in the chats a few times. I've wondered the same thing on how to do that. So I think I might have to check that out sometime. Sounds pretty cool. Okay. Whoop. So I'm just putting my string down the middle of this. I'm wrapping it around a couple thumbtacks. Now, when I push this down, yeah, that'll work good. Cool. It's probably super hard to see, but once you get over the curve at this top end, I can definitely see where it's low and where it's high. But it's actually looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do is screw down my halfway point, because I know it's halfway, and that'll get me started. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is this module has this big bridge in the front, so the whole bottom is a big sheet of plywood, and then there's like a cavity underneath this part, so I won't be able to put screws up on the risers from underneath. So I'll probably just maybe toenail in on either side, I guess. Or, you know what I could do is just drill a pilot hole and put one long screw all the way through into the plywood. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, Sean. Sounds good. No, all good, guys. I'm just here working on stuff. If you want to watch, you're more than welcome. Okay. That should be enough to go through. Okay. So, what do I got for screws? That should work perfectly. Throw some glue on this block. That. With any luck, it won't split. No, but you're going to want to spin. Cool. Okay. So there's the middle. Yeah, so I got to move this quarter one back because I ended up with like a between here, and I have the move this over. The quarter one is right there, but now I have like a wave going here. So let's see about moving this one out. Even at that. Okay. It's a bit of trial and error here. So I'll move this way. So I just moved my 3/4 block to here, and I'm just looking at the string. So there's like 1/8 of an inch below the string on my halfway point, and when I put pressure down where my 3/4 one is, there's about 1/8 of an inch of gap below the string there. So I think that's where that one's going to be happy. And then I'll do the same with the 1/2 inch, move it up. To right there. That's pretty good too. There and there. Not gone too far. I'm thinking right there. And then this 1/4. Oop. Like, I almost don't need this 1/4 one, but without it, it makes like a weird dip there. So I guess I'll leave it in. But that's too high. Okay, I kind of like that. So I got a nice even gap under my string all the way along. So I'll move up to this side and do the same thing. So that one there. I think that's it. Cool. Now I gotta glue everything. But I'll mark where these go. Before I take them out. Now I can still move them around before I screw them down. Okay. I guess I'll do the same thing. 3/4. So that right there. Whoop. That one there. That one there. Okay, well, let's start screwing these in before I get too carried away. And that there. So. Make sure it's square. Looks good. This guy's the same. Same gap. Looks good. Same thing here. I think maybe go this way a bit more. Maybe. Yeah, right there. Where'd my glue go? Just like that. Need some longer screws for that. Actually, I think this one I can bring this one from the bottom. Oh, maybe I can't. I cannot. Just have to use a long one and cut it off so nobody cuts their hands. There. That's looking pretty good. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Johnny Rayler, how's it going today? Yeah, it's a string for the grade. I basically had my height of 2 inches at the one end and then at ground level at the opposite end, found my center line, and then using the string line, I'm putting my in-between risers and trying to keep the same distance between the string and the top of the deck. John Garvin, how are you? So, yeah, that screw stuck through a little bit, but just have to remember to cut that. So, yeah, nice transition there. Now, to this end. Okay, I think I'll throw some glue on these. I was really trying to make sure I get the transition. Let's see here. Move the camera for a second. Sorry, everybody. The transition from flat to where it starts grading, entering the grade. We had a lot of problems before. Sorry about the camera. We had a lot of problems before with like a hump right at the top and a hump right at the bottom, and a lot of cars coming uncoupled, and it just wasn't fun after trying to chase what was going on. And you'd be, of course, you'd be on the other side of the layout when stuff came uncoupled, so you had to get over to the other side before something else rammed into the back of it. Yeah. Inch and a half long enough? Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that'll do that. Yeah. I'm super happy with that. So I could basically put a sheet of paper under this string line all the way down and not have it touch in between. So that's cool. Yeah. Well, that got done faster than I thought it was going to. So now I can move my camera around here. Let's see. John's in Washego. A lot of people from Ontario here. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This layout is currently 18 by 24. Oop. And all my papers fall. And oh. Yeah. Pretty sure I show this all the time. So, which camera's which? That is currently how these modules will be set up. And it's also doubles as a home layout. I have one more module to reconfigure after this, but there's a whole pile of brand new modules that'll be integrated in this, and it'll be something crazy like, geez, I don't remember what it was here. Yeah, track is going to go on that grade. So let me move this over here. Yeah, this is, we take this to shows. Yeah, this is a whole, it started as my home layout, and then my whole mindset changed, and got into doing shows, and then basically revamped my home layout to fit the show layout in it. And this is kind of where I'm at now. And I had some weird shaped modules originally in the original configuration, and it just didn't work. So this is kind of changing the configuration to a giant rectangle, and yeah, having to redo every module. We're also putting staging in the back, in behind. It'll be hidden staging. Yeah. So I guess right now I'm going to install my Unitrack joiners in between the two modules. So this one, I actually don't have to do anything with these two front tracks. They're right where they were supposed to be. I never ended up moving them, so I'll end up making sure these ones join up. What standards do you go by? Okay, so all these modules are 2 foot by 6 feet. They were originally another club layout, but the club sold their layout and to build another one. And I don't know what happened in between that time, but they came up for sale, and I thought, hey, what a cool way to get into doing train shows quickly, rather than taking my home layout. So I bought the original show layout, repaired a whole pile of track, and we started doing shows. My buddy helps me out quite a bit. And then the next year, another club layout showed up, which ironically was the second layout the same club built to replace the first layout that they sold, which I now had. So I ended up with 2 of these club layouts, and they were kind of based like N-track, like as far as module sizing goes, but the track spacing was kind of all over the place. But I liked the track plan. It was interesting. So I kind of wanted to keep it the same, but as far as, so it's got a kind of a standard, but not really. Long story. So I've basically created all these new modules to match with the standard that was made originally in these original modules. And that was like early 90s when these were built. And I actually ran into the couple people from the original club who built this whole thing, and it was a British theme. So I don't know if anybody's seen any of the other photos of this thing. It's very British. It won't be for long, but they actually gave me all the original photo albums from when they were building both of these layouts. So it's kind of cool to have a bit of that history, and now I'm making it my own, North Americanizing it, and there's going to be a lot more modules. I think the problem that we're going to end up with is that it'll be huge. It'll be too big to, it'll have to be a pretty empty show for us to set up the full layout. But that'll be a ways down the line. Once I start actually finishing the rest of the home layout, like I still got to build my helix over here to go from both levels. But yeah, it'd be quite a process. And then there'll be two balloon tracks on this side. And then each module is freestanding, and the legs just fold up. I'll try to move over here. So I have one just sitting on the top, but the posts actually end up supporting the whole module. So yeah, eventually it'll run through the whole room, and I'll be able to run trains and have something more interesting than track work all the time. But yeah, it did kind of fall into our lap. It was just, we wanted to do shows, and it was easy way of getting in there, and yeah, worked out well. And it met some really cool people doing the shows and stuff now. So we want to keep doing it. And we got 3 shows already this summer coming up. So really looking forward to that. And I got to get these modules back operational before then. It won't be scenic or anything, but at least people can see how I do stuff here. But so I'm using these Kato joiners. They're fantastic. They're expansion tracks, so they make connecting all these modules super easy. I think the main standard that I'm going with here is the gap that between the 2 modules. You just got to have it big enough to fit one of these in, not expanded. I think I'm doing 1 3/4 to the end of the unitrack. Not every module is the same. Fall Great White North Tour. No, probably not this year. I won't be. We might go and visit some of the layouts we did last year, and that was pretty cool. That was the first time we did that layout tour. I'm not sure if anybody would actually drive up all this way to come see, especially if we're at a show. It'll be the same layout at home as we would be set up at a show. So yeah, Do I know Go Via, Go Home, and M&M Rails? I've never met them in person, but I have chatted with them multiple times, and I've watched all of their live streams if I am able to. That's watching them is kind of what inspired me to start looking at this the whole YouTube thing. I don't know. It's neat seeing what other people are working on and getting to chat and sort of just networking. And even though everybody's different scales, it's your skills and ideas and everything. That's all transferable. Like everybody's doing some awesome work, and like, yeah, it's really cool. Seems to be lots of Ontario guys too. Like it's Sean, no, it's kind of like loose N-Track standards. The modules are N-Track size, but the whole track plan is not N-Track standards, especially now that we've added the staging on the back, with the hidden backboards, and kind of just made it our own. We did those the first shows and learned what worked, what didn't work, and like I said, it's for the most part just myself and another buddy that set this layout up. So we just kind of wanted to make it as easy as possible for us. There, look at that. Let's see what I'm working on here. As long as the tripod doesn't fall over. Which it might. Okay. Fall tours, but we got it's helping a friend as Aurelia layout. Aurelia layout. What we did a few of them. Was it an HO one or N scale? I know we tried to hit all the N scale ones for sure. And like there was a few that we would go to one place and then somebody would be like, oh, did you check out this person? And so we'd end up changing our plans and going to see layouts that other people recommended. But I think, I can't remember exactly how many we did, but definitely didn't get to them all. I think the closest one to me was, I think, in Bracebridge. But yeah. I think we'll end up looking at doing it again and do the opposite ones. Oh, HO scale, okay. Yeah, we'll do the opposite ones that we did just to see everybody's stuff. It's pretty amazing. Some of them, like, wow. So I just used brown silicone, or not silicone, brown latex caulking to put my road bed down. And it's cheap and it peels up easy, just for this exact reason. So clip that guy in there, and I had another one. Clip that guy in there, that one there, and that one there. I don't know if they make, I think somebody was saying they make these expansion tracks in HO, or they're starting to, but I've had a lot of people ask about them at the shows, and so, but from what I heard is that they are making them in HO. I haven't seen one, but yeah, John Springs THMB. Somebody, quite a few places that we went to recommended that we go check out that layout. So it wasn't originally John's layout on our radar, but after hearing all the people talk about it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on our radar for this year. So all I'm doing here is just using a straight edge against the rail to make sure it's straight all the way through. And my cork doesn't line up, but I just kind of eyeballed it at the time, and it got me close. So yeah. It's a little bit of a wiggle in this track, but I think it'll be okay. Okay. Bit of CA on this guy. Started watching Mark Christmas Party. Yeah, I subscribed to all of them. I also started, like, I think the first live stream I ever caught was actually They Make It Like That, and he was doing some awesome stuff. He's still doing some awesome stuff. So that's I found his channel, and then it sort of led me to the Third Rail Thursdays and stuff like that, and yeah, hopefully someday I'll be able to make it to one of those meet and greets. Oh, cool. Yeah, we went to Amherst 2 years ago, and I remember seeing Chris down there, but at the time, like, I wasn't into the whole YouTube thing, so I really didn't get to talk with him at all. But we did meet Mike at Barrie Train Show 2 years ago. So, okay. These tracks are a little bit closer than my gauge, but it's gonna have to be where it is. Some of these I'm not gonna change. Maybe at a later date, but There. That's good there. I think we're supposed to have my buddy's coming out tomorrow and we're going to do a work session. He usually is doing wiring while I'm doing track work and various other things. I'm just seeing if I can put a link in the chat to his channel. We'll do a live stream on Wednesdays. We've been doing it. In case anybody's interested, we just work on various projects. He's trying to get his layout together. He's working on some T-Track stuff, but yeah, nothing sticks to silicone, that's for sure. That's his channel. I think I was doing a little bit of graffiti and stuff there last Wednesday. Just kind of hanging out. But hopefully someday we'll be able to do live stream running trains here. I just got to pop some of these track spikes out so I can start my curve a bit further back. This is all homemade road bed. So I bought it in a sheet from Amazon, and I don't know if I can. Yeah, bought it in a sheet from Amazon, and then I cut it all up. Cut it all up in my own rolls. Seems to work good. But yeah, I try to save money where I can. That's another thing. I just see you met them at the OVR pop-up. I have yet to make it down to OVR. I order lots from there, but I have yet to actually make it down there, down to Tillsonburg. So I'm like 4 hours north of Toronto. So I'm trying to keep all these curves bigger than 19-inch radius. There. Okay. So where is a little piece of sectional here? So that's a 19-inch. Okay. I just don't want to cut this rail too short, but I should be able to do this. Something like that, I think. Gotta pop a few more track spikes out of here. Wow, I really got those in there. Okay, there. That's better. Yeah, that's a cool idea, John. Have a table just for all the YouTubers. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to cut that right here. Right there and right there. Staken is a train model railroad event coming up at Waterloo in August. Part of it is running of the water. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen anything about that. Go a little bit shorter. Something like that. That will do. Okay. I always try to start with my inside curve first. Thanks for hanging out, Johnny, or John. Okay. Yeah, I start with my inside curve first because that'll be the tightest. And like I said, I'm trying to stay 19-inch or larger radius. So get on there. There we go. Okay. Definitely bigger than 19. So that'll work. And I'm going to have to add a strip of cork on the outside, and then I'll trim here where I kind of went over where I had it planned, but that's okay. That is okay. Now, cut that there. I always usually cut it just a little bit long. Railer, I'll call you Railer. Something like that. Still gotta go a bit more here. Neil Schofield. Guessed that the RPM is someone who admire modeling. Neil Schofield models the same era and railway that I do. I don't think I've ever heard of that guy. I'm gonna have little chunks of rail all over the floor. I'll be finding them for the next couple of years. Cool. So Model CP rail in 1980 Vermont. Oh, neat. Huh. Okay. Just going back through and putting in the track nails that I had to take out. I think what I'll do, put a couple holes in there just to keep this aligned properly. I don't want to kink right as soon as I come out of that. So I like that. I was way off on my cork here, but that's okay. That's okay. Trying to make more of an S bend here than anything. This will all be in a bit of a tunnel as well, so there. I think I like that. Yeah, this will end up with a tunnel portal pretty much right there. So anything in the back you won't really see, and then I'll just bring the scenery probably right out to the front of the module. But that'll be later. So need to add a couple holes over here. Right there looks weird, but I guess it's okay. I think the hardest part about this live streaming thing is remembering the camera's there and try and explain what I'm working on. Normally just work in silence. Okay, I gotta add a little piece of cork there. That's too long. That's too short. This one looks good. Okay. Okay, take it easy, Sean. Thanks for dropping in and hanging out. Okay. There, that's better. So, I gotta trim this back a little bit more, like a tie's width. Trim that off. Like that. A little bit more. Just like that. I just file the bottom here. Might actually do a little drop of solder on these rail joints just because it comes out and goes right into a curve. I don't want it to end up with like a kink there. I also find sometimes these Pico joiners are a little bit loose on the Unitrack. Okay, cool. And then I can't use my template there, but yeah. So there we go. I think that looks all right. This will all be 2 tunnel portals here and the opposite here. So this will all be covered. I'll have access in behind, but you won't be able to see it from the front. So I think I might wrap it up there, actually. Got the grade done today. Grade is done, so now I can lay track here. Staging is done, so I can lay the staging tracks, which will look, it's hard to see, but so we've got staging, your backboard, and then track 4, 3, 2, and 1. So yeah, that was a productive day. So yeah, I think I'll wrap it up here, guys, and thanks for hanging out, and hopefully on the next you can join me on the next one. So take care.